10 years ago, two geeks were sent to Norwich in a Vauxhall Corsa C and committed no crime. These men promptly escaped from a nasty budget hotel to the Epsom Underground. Today, still wanted by absolutely no one, they survive as computer nerds of fortune. If you have a software problem, if no one else can help, and you want to avoid them, maybe you shouldn't hire the geek team. I'm terribly sorry, that was quite possibly one of the worst parodies in the history of YouTube. In today's very vague vlog, I'm on the way back from visiting my mother, as I was in episode 15, this is now episode 16, and it's time for me to talk to you about something that my former housemate and I did in 2011, when we actually went and not exactly stalked, but we wanted to find the house of a certain famous British YouTube content creator. My former housemate, who I lived with until 2017 when my lady wife and I got married, is known by the pseudonym of Mr. Lily. Throughout this very vague vlog, which of course is going to be rambling and stupid as always, he'll be referred to under that pseudonym. He's a programmer. I first met him at university about 20 years ago now, actually. He and I, in about 2008, started watching a channel of Stuart Ashen, known as Ashen's, who is probably one of the oldest, or rather longest running, people on YouTube in Britain, still going with a successful audience. He's got well over 1 million subscribers. I think he's actually got 2 million. And he makes videos about very, very rubbish old video games, terrible old electronics, rubbish from Poundland, and really, really horrible food. He's based in Norwich, and, you know, that's an open thing. No secret at all about that. And the two films that he's actually released, which are called Ashen's and The Quest for the Game Child and Ashen's and the Polybius Heist, that latter one was released before Christmas 2020. He often refers to the place and the fact he's from there. In 2011, Mr. Lilly and I decided we'd go and pay him a visit by looking up some publicly available information about where his company was based, and I don't think he lives there anymore. I don't think the company's based there anymore, so I don't think I'm giving anything away in particular. But our plan was to go to Norwich really for no reason at all, apart from maybe, you know, being fans of Alan Partridge as well, and to go and visit this gentleman's house. Now, we didn't break any laws at all. I must tell you that, first of all, in our covert operations. And weapon of choice was his 2006 Vauxhall Corsa C 1.2 twin-port SXI. It was a car that had been owned by a family member of his on Motability, and when he got it, I think it had done 5,000 miles. This was in 2010. We did think of driving my River 45 that I had at the time. It was a 2004 1.4 Club SE. We did think of driving it, but the Corsa got better economy, and also, you know, we could both drive it, we're both insured on it. So it's quite a long way from Epsom to Norwich, and so we went on our way. It was 29th of April 2011, I believe, because that was the day of a royal wedding, and neither of us were particularly interested in a royal wedding, so we decided to go to Norwich instead. Quite a long journey, particularly at the time, because the A11 wasn't yet a full dual carriageway all the way to Norwich. There was that infamous section after the Mildenwood roundabout that was single carriageway at a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit, and indeed we did get stuck at the Mildenwood roundabout. So actually we made it to Norwich, and, you know, we looked up the address, and we worked out how to get there. And Mr. Lilly sat in the passenger seat of the Corsa, which of course is a perfect car for undercover spy work, because in 2011, who's going to notice a Corsa C driving around? So we turned up outside where we thought he lived, and with the laptop tethered to a smartphone, which is what you used to do back in the day, he scanned around and looked for Wi-Fi networks, and we looked for specifically a network that had been shown in one of his videos when he'd been testing, I think, a fake iPhone 5 or something. I think it was an iPhone 5 back in the time, or 4S, the Airphone 4 or 5 or something. And we managed to find the same network that was in the video. So there we were outside his house, and we'd found this network. Now we didn't actually try to hack the network or anything. It had very, very strong encryption security on it, so we left it alone. But we found that we'd actually found his house, and we sat there and identified his Wi-Fi network, and then we left because we didn't want to break any laws. And one of my viewers is a special constable, so I'm sure if we had broken any laws, we'd now be having a visit from the boys in blue. So then we went to stay at a very strange hotel in Norwich. I won't tell you the name of it, and it was a place with no Wi-Fi password. It was one of these very dated hotels where, you know, the bedrooms had built-in radios on the headboard of the beds, probably dated from the 70s or so, and textured carpet and that sort of thing, and, you know, kippers to breakfast. And we went round, found the old Anglia TV studio, had a nice curry out, and generally drove to Norwich for 4 hours each way for really no reason at all, because that's what you do when you are some kind of strange geek and you get excited about that sort of thing, where, you know, you don't actually commit any crime, but you get a thrill from that sort of adventure. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and of course, well, it was ridiculous, but yeah, that's what we used to get up to before I was married, and were, you know, just Mr. Lilly and I doing stupid things like installing multiple versions of Linux and things like that. If you don't know what those are, then don't worry, really. Anyway, that was the story of when we went to visit a very famous YouTube content creator, well before, you know, I had any idea of having any sort of channel, and in a Vauxhall Corsa C. So don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling and ridiculous stories like this, and the very vague vlogs will be coming out every week. Don't forget to switch on notifications by using the notification bell, if that is something that you would prefer. Obviously, I understand after this video it's something you don't prefer. And please visit my Facebook and Instagram accounts, which are detailed in the description below. And thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.